Hey everybody, welcome to a basics episode here on the Chill Cook. Today we're talking about a really interesting drink. It's called the Shrub. And the Shrub actually is a fruit-based beverage that goes back thousands of years. It's been around since the Babylonians, actually. I won't bore you too much with details, but essentially this is a syrup that you mix with water, with alcohol, or lots of other options, fruit juices, things like that. And it's based on concentrated fruit flavor, sugar, and vinegar. I like to use apple cider vinegar. It's a really fresh, bright flavor. I serve these to my friends all the time. I have it in the fridge a lot of the time, especially in the summer. And it's pretty easy. I think you're going to find that it's definitely worth trying. So, a couple days ago, I came home from the farmer's market with a ton of awesome fresh strawberries. What I did in order to prepare to make the Shrub was clean them and then slice them. I didn't worry about cleaning off the leaves because for this particular use, that doesn't matter if they're still on there. After I finished slicing them, I put them all into a sealable container, and with about 2 cups of sliced berries, I put in 3/4 cup of regular white sugar, stirred it, put the lid on, and stuck it in the fridge. You can have it in the fridge for 24 hours. I recommend maybe 48, and then you're really going to have something that's super juicy. Essentially, you're macerating these berries, and that's getting the juice out of them. And that's flavorful, sweet syrup now that tastes like fresh summer strawberries. You could do a Shrub with lots of different fruits, peaches, other stone fruits like apricots and plums and things. Definitely pretty much any berry. I've done them with apples as well. You can also do a much quicker version of this if you don't have 2 days to wait, you're extra thirsty, by cooking them. So essentially you make a simple syrup, which I've talked about giving the basics of in our sours recipe. But then instead of taking it off the stove after you brought it to the simmer, equal parts sugar and water, then you add in your fruit of choice and let it simmer slowly for about 10 more minutes. That'll quickly pull that flavor of the fruit out into that syrup for you. It can sometimes be a little bit less fresh tasting because of the cooking, but I've gotten great results doing that method as well. So here we have, after about 2 days, tons of juicy berries. I'm going to pour these out of my container now into a bowl, and I'm going to try and save myself as much trouble as possible because I'm going to want to squeeze as much out of the berries as I can. So I'm going to line this with a little bit of cheesecloth. If you're in a real pinch, you could use a strainer of some sort and just use your hands to squeeze it. This hopefully will make it a little bit easier. Be careful, this is sticky and very red. Okay. Look at that, that was not too bad at all. So I'm just going to wring it a little bit to tighten and then spend some time here squeezing to get as much goodness out of those berries as I can. And there's a lot still coming out, so don't be afraid to get in there. Once you feel like you've gotten as much out of there as you can, or you just are ready to give up on it, you don't have to discard that. It's actually really still quite tasty, good on top of like ice cream, other desserts, cakes, things like that. I'm going to rinse off my hands. Try not to tie-dye my shirt. And now we're ready for our next step. So we've got all of that syrupy juice goodness here. And next we're going to add our vinegar. I try to balance out, like most of cooking, we're always looking for kind of a balance of flavors between the sweetness and the acidity of the vinegar. So I added 3/4 cup of the white sugar to this, as I mentioned. So I'm going to go for about 3/4 cup of the vinegar as well as my target range. But recipes are not rules, okay? So I recommend starting a little lower on the acidity than maybe what you put in sugar-wise, and then tasting. Just like I always say, taste along the way when you're cooking. There's nothing wrong with kind of figuring out what works for you. So that's about a half cup. I'm going to get out a spoon, make sure I stir it enough, and get a little taste here, see what we've got. Oh my God. It's like you distill the summer goodness of the berries and like pack it into a syrup. It's awesome. Definitely can do the full 3/4 cup for me in this case. I tend to like things tart as well. That bright freshness is awesome. So that's for my taste. You can use balsamic vinegar, you could use wine vinegar, red wine if you want, white wine vinegar. Apple cider vinegar does have a bit of that fruitiness to it. So it's a little less harsh than some vinegars. You probably wouldn't want to use like a distilled white vinegar in this case. You want something that's going to meld nicely with the fruitiness here. Okay, rinse this off and taste once more. Make sure we're where you want to be. Wow, that's good. It's like a punchy tartness, but it's like super, super sweet and fresh. For me, I ended up with actually probably close to a cup of the vinegar. Like I said, I like it a little bit tart. So next step, I'm going to carefully transfer this into my measuring cup because it has a spout. Let's see, do we make it? Oh man, just made it. Right at the edge there, gonna have to be careful with that. And I have a couple of containers here that I actually just grabbed from things that I ran out of, you know, stuff from the store, cleaned off, sanitized, and they're great for storing these kind of things in. Just look at the color of that. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. So I'll do this over the sink, just being realistic with myself that I'll probably spill some of it. And do the transfer here into the storage bottle. And then you can pop these into the fridge and give them away as gifts with a little recipe card on them for how to make a shrub beverage with it. And that's what I'm going to show you now. Grab myself a glass, and essentially this is a really simple recipe. You just need a shot glass for measurement, and you're going to want to do a shot of our syrup. Don't want to spill that anywhere. Okay, and then some ice. Depending on your personal preference, you can do a shot of liquor. I like the clear liquors with this. A gin, a vodka, a tequila maybe would work as well. Or you can just top it off with sparkling water. You know me, I'm going to grab some vodka from the bar. Why pass up such an opportunity, right? We'll do one shot of vodka. And now we're going to top it off with the sparkling water. Give it a quick stir. If you want to, you can top that off with a mint sprig or something like that. Squeeze a lime. Oh man. It's so good. It's really fresh. You don't taste vinegar, you just get that tart, fresh punch. It's a light, refreshing, tasty drink. Tons of strawberry flavor. I recommend you try it with whatever fresh fruit you have around that's full of flavor, ready to go, and that you want to be able to enjoy now for months, maybe once you even get out of the season for that fruit, because you can just keep it in your fridge. Cheers. Check us out at thechillcook.com for the full recipe, for lots of other videos. Follow us at The Chill Cook on Instagram. If you follow us there, you're actually going to get sneak peeks of upcoming videos, plenty of pictures, and some other videos and things that you don't get on our website. So follow us there as well. Talk to you guys soon.